sequences with the beginnings coming from the Edward Bidwell collection. And they, at the same time, put in their own stuff because they had been in the match industry for many years before this. So they combined their holdings of their collection plus Bidwell's collection plus a couple of others, even Lovett's collection, went into this collection here that was in their hands for, well, up till World War II. And when World War II broke out, most, like Diamond Match and other, the munitions business took them over. So matches became more controlled, all of that industry, because they're dealing in sulfur and gunpowder type stuff, went to the war effort. And so the Bryant May shut down. They weren't making matches for public use anymore, and they were worried about the collection, so they put it into the hands of the British Museum, where it is today. The British Museum, the Science Museum in London, absorbed the collection, and they have it. But they didn't get it all. And in 1996, Bryant May went out of business. They had an auction, 4 auctions, and I went to every one of them. And so the holdings of the Bryant May collection were put on auction, and I bought 70 pieces at that auction. And some of them, like this wheel tinderbox there, this fire striker here in silver here, the armadillo tail piece there, all pieces that came from the Bryant May collection, as well as a lot of the very earliest matches in history going back to the very beginning. I have one that's pictured here. Most of the pieces I got, I bought them because they were pictured in the collection, and it was key and important to me to get pieces that were actually pictured. In fact, you see right here, 171. If I open that piece, you'll see it's 171. So I wanted to have the connection to the people, you know, and why that meant something to me, and be connected to Edward Bidwell. And I have his pieces, and I was able to show them in my own museum exhibition. 100 years to the month later, a guy came up and saw it, and these cases are part of what that exhibition was. I had them all spread out in this little museum in Yucca Valley that asked me to do the exhibition, but it was just so uncanny and serendipitous that here on the 100th anniversary of Edward Bidwell showing his collection, I was showing mine. And a guy wrote something very nice about it too, which I was very flattered. But one of the things I loved the most when I got this collection, these pieces, there were things in here that I just knew I would never own. This little tube right here, I own this tube. And when I got it and was exploring it, I realized I knew it was sheet music. Well, I put the pieces of matches all together, and lo and behold, it isn't sheet music. And it's a lost bit of music that obviously somebody was saying, this guy's music's so bad, it's only really good for matches. And they're going to burn it up, you see. So there was like a little tongue-in-cheek thing coming from these French guys who are very pointed people, boy, I'll tell you, they don't hold it back. Anyway, this collection sort of comes to it. Then I brought these lighters here, and this is from Mike Cassidy at a time, and you know, it makes me wonder about lighters and people's appreciation for them, because I don't know who has ever seen a mink lighter, you know? You know, to have a mink lighter. Yeah, and you know, and to look at a company like Elgin American, you go back to the old Elgin lighters, you find a lot of respect for their earlier pieces, the deco pieces, the wonderful great Elgins, you know. But then you get to this era, and the incredible ingenuity, early plastics, you know, from the 1950s, and the artistry and design. And nobody pays attention to these lighters. Nobody even really looks at them. You know, just to say I only collect red plastic Elgin Americans, and that's all you had, you know. I want to look back at Robert Morris and talk about his chem lighters, but to actually see, you know, where these things, yeah, that's from, yeah, oh yeah, and I mean, historical stuff. Yeah, you know.